everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I have my brother with me. This is Sam.
Hi.
He's 17, almost 18. He's going to be a senior in high school.
Scary thought.
Yeah, really scary. And we are going to be doing the I Dare You book tag. I don't remember who the creator is, but I will leave their video in the description below. I've got my notebook full of questions, so let's just get into it. So question number 1 is, which book has been on your shelf the longest?
I think Kingdom Keepers book 1, Disney After Dark. I know that I've had that one for quite a long time.
I love that book so much. That is one of my favorite series that is very underrated. My book, I think, is down here. Yeah, I think this is the book that I've owned the longest, which is Midnight Rider by Joan Hyatt Harlow. It's a historical fiction about a girl who does Paul Revere's job for some reason. Like, he gets tied up, so then this girl does his job. I actually don't remember. I haven't read it in forever, but like, I think that is honestly the book that I've owned the longest. Question 2. What is your current read, last read, and book you'll read next? So what book are you currently reading?
The book I'm currently reading, it's called The Fugitive 6 by Pittacus Lore. It's the second book in the second series of the I Am Number 4 series. The last book that I've read, I think that was Warcross by Marie Lu, which I'm excited because there's going to be a second book coming out soon, so I'm very excited for that. And the book I will read next, I have no idea.
So the book that I'm reading right now is The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which has been hyped on BookTube. I'm kind of enjoying it. I don't really know what I think yet. The book that I read last was Geekerella by Ashley Poston, which was super cute and fun. The book I'm going to read next is The Darkest Legacy by Alexandra Bracken, which just came in at the library, and I'm really excited. And wow, our kitty is cute. Question 3. Which book did everyone like that you hated?
I hate a bunch of books for stupid reasons.
That's okay. Like what?
I don't know. I just hate a lot of the Maximum Ride books. After the third book, I feel like the series was kind of just turned into more of a cash grab than anything else, so
True.
I don't know, it's just...
Yeah. I don't know that I hate it. I mean, Twilight is the first thing that comes to mind. I didn't ever read it, but I watched the first movie, and I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Didn't you try to read the first one?
I mean, I did, but I already had the kind of...
Yeah.
Like, I already had the kind of mindset of this book series is stupid, and I never got past the first page, so
yeah. I
haven't tried again.
That's okay. Alright, number 4. A book you tell yourself you will read, but you probably won't.
The 100. No, I'm just saying...
I've given him those books because I really want him to read them because I think he'd like them, but...
That might be the book that I read next. I don't really know.
I hope so. Or you could say An Ember in the Ashes. Or a John Green book, or, I don't know. Book that you want to read? I don't know. I think any Cassandra Clare book. I read the Mortal Instruments. I read a couple of those in middle school, and then did never finish the series. And I keep telling myself that I'll reread them so I can read all the new ones that have come out, but I don't think I ever will. I just am not super interested in it. Number 5. What book are you saving for retirement? I don't think I have an answer for this one. Maybe classics, like Moby Dick or something.
I don't know.
I don't have any. Seriously, classics are the only thing that come to mind.
I can't think that far ahead.
Gotta get through high school, gotta get through college first. Not even thinking about retirement yet.
I need a life and then I'll get retired.
True. Alright, number 6. Last page. Read it first or leave it till the end?
Leave it till the end. Sometimes I'll just sometimes if I'm feeling stupid, I'll peek at it, but...
Do you know our mom likes to read the last page first?
What?
Yeah, she'll flip to the end of the book. I was talking
Don't
about...
do it. Do not do it.
I was talking about The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I was saying how I'm not sure that I like it or not, but I want to know what happens, and so she's just like, just read the last page. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do that. I think Lily does that too, actually. or she wouldn't feel bad about it. But yeah, absolutely leave it till the end. You can't spoil a book like that. People do it though.
I mean, maybe if you don't like the book that much, and you're just reading it because either someone really wants you to, or just because you have to for school or something.
I mean, okay, but
Possibly.
even so. Okay, number 7, acknowledgement. Waste of paper and ink or interesting read. Have you ever read the acknowledgements in a book?
No.
Oh, I have.
Actually, wasn't...
The dedication is the one at the beginning. The acknowledgements is like the thank yous at the end.
Oh, no.
I have read them. I think it's really cool. Do you think it's a waste of paper and ink, though, or...
No, I think it's...
important.
I think it's important. It's just something that, like...
Yeah, you don't have to read it. I think it's cool.
It's not necessary, but if you want to read it, go ahead.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I've read some before, and there's usually little notes. You can usually find out a little bit more about the author if you read them, so I think they're cool. Cool. Okay, number 8. Which book character would you switch places with?
I don't know. That's the problem is I read a lot of science fiction where everything goes like horribly wrong. So I'm not sure.
Every fantasy and dystopian book ever as well. I know. I mean, I'm tempted to say like Hermione, because then you get to be in like the Harry Potter universe, or like Lucy Pevensey from the Chronicles of Narnia, because I want to go to Narnia. I don't know. I'm trying to think of, like, unique answers, because I feel like those are normal answers. Matilda. I love Matilda. I was just looking at it. I love Matilda so much to be able to, like, be super smart and have the ability to move things with your mind.
But then you'd have to deal with the family.
I mean, that's true, but there's going to be hardships with no matter who you switch places with, so.
I don't know.
I think that would be super fun.
I don't really have an answer, so.
That's okay. Number 9. Do you have a book that reminds you of a specific time in your life?
Funnily, yes. One of the, I think it was like the 3rd or 4th book in the Spiderwick Chronicles series. I just remember this one moment in time where I was reading it and this one song was playing while I was reading it, but it's not like, it's not iconic or anything. It's just something that I've always remembered for some reason.
That's weird. I didn't know that. For me, I think The Hunger Games will always remind me of middle school just because that was when I read them, that was when the movies started coming out, and that was when I really got into reading more YA books. Like, up until that point, I'd mostly been reading, like, middle grade and children's books. And so Hunger Games and Harry Potter were 2 series that I read in middle school that kind of launched me into reading more YA. So, plus, like, it was super fun because, yeah, the movie started coming out and it was just the whole craze because I'd missed the Harry Potter movie and book craze. So those were all over because I remember the first Hunger Games movie came out in 2012 and that was when I started reading them, which would have been 7th or 8th. That would have been 8th grade, I think. And yeah, me and my friend Kat would just read them and we talked about them and then all the hype with the movies and everything, so I guess that would be my answer.
I mean, I also just remember reading the first few Maximum Ride books and like my friends were all reading them at the same time and I thought of the stupid idea of like, I don't want to say this, but I thought of like taking like a paper clip and like sticking part of it into like part of your finger so that you get blood and then you'd be able to like, I don't know, kind of like a DNA switch thing, kind of like the Maximum Ride into Bird Kids thing, but that was stupid.
I didn't know that, and that's really scary.
Hey, that was 5th grade, okay?
That's really scary.
That was 5th grade. A lot's changed since then.
That's funny. Okay, moving on. Number 10. Name a book you acquired in an interesting way. I have a few for this. There's a copy of Fantastic Beasts that I got while I was in the Czech Republic. I bought that in Prague while we were on our mission trip. So that was cool. That was the only book that I got while I was there.
I think for me the most interesting way that I've acquired a book was, I think it's Percy Jackson's Greek Gods and Percy Jackson's Greek Heroes. If we have them both, I know we have the Greek Gods one, and
I don't remember.
it was our brother's, but then we shared a room, and it was on my bookshelf, and then I brought the bookshelf into my room when we split into separate rooms, and it's just been there ever since.
Yeah, from our siblings, that's often where you get your books, is from us or from birthday gifts. The only other one I have is Ash Princess, which I got because my mom accidentally bought it on Amazon because it was in the cart for some reason, and she didn't realize it until after she'd already paid for it and then gotten it. And I want to read it. I haven't read it yet, but that's probably the only other interesting one.
Or on the 7th and final book in the Kingdom Keepers series, I remember we got that because we slept out in a tent, and I had brought it with me, and then it started raining, and somehow the book got wet, and it was a library book, so I had to pay for it from the public library, but now we own it, so...
That's true. We've done that with a few, kids' books, because, it happens.
I think we paid so much to the library that, we're part of the reason they're still going.
Our public library, anyways. Alrighty, number 11. Have you ever given away a special book to a special person?
No.
I don't think so either.
Not really.
I lend out my books quite often, but I don't really give them away. Number 12. Which book has been with you the most places?
I think my Children's International Bible. My International Children's Bible. It has a camo cover on it, and I just remember I got that
a long time ago
from our parents right before we moved down to Florida.
That would have been a really long time ago. It's 10 years ago.
Yeah, and
right?
10 years,
yeah.
And we still have it.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah. So yeah, it probably has been. For me, I don't really know.
Did you have a book thing back then?
A book thing back
then? A bookshelf?
I mean, I had... Maybe. Kitty, if you hit my thing. I'm just going to say my copy of A Number in the Ashes because I've taken it on vacations and stuff. Either that or my 7-book copy of The Chronicles of Narnia with all 7 books in one book. But I don't really know. Yeah. Alright, number 13. Any required reading you hated in high school, looking back now it isn't so bad. I mean, this is hard because, we haven't really...
I mean, I haven't gotten out of high school, but I think every book that I was forced to read in high school, I either thought was just okay or was terrible.
Yeah. Ouch, can you not?
I mean, I haven't been required to read that many books. It's just, most of them are really bad.
Yeah. I don't really know. I'd be interested in rereading some Shakespeare in a not school setting, just because, Taming of the Shrew is one that I would love to, revisit someday, but as of now, I'm not that far out of high school either, so I don't really have any yet. So, yeah. Alright, number 14, used or brand new books? Both.
I mean, yeah, I was going to say brand new just because of the new book smell.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I get a lot of my books used. I buy a ton from Savers, actually, so...
Most of mine are used because they're usually from, someone.
Right.
Her.
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. But I also really do like new books, so both. Go with both. Alrighty. Number 15. Have you ever read a Dan Brown book? I don't know why this is a question. We're just going to skip that question, because what? Number 16. A movie you loved more than the book? I have 2 for this one, actually. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and A Walk to Remember. I loved both of those movies. I mean, I loved the book of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, but I loved the movie a little bit better. And then A Walk to Remember was just a much better adaptation than the book was.
I don't know. I might just say, I would say Ready Player One, but I didn't actually read the book before I watched the movie.
Why don't you leave? Go away, lady.
Other than that, I don't really know. Maybe The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe just because I found it to be kind of annoying Or the Lord of the Rings movies were definitely a lot better than my opinion of what the books were.
I can agree with that. The books are just hard to read.
The books are good. There's just so much filler information that I don't care too much for. No offense to anyone who does, but
that's okay. That's valid. Number 17. Have you ever read a book that made you hungry? Which cookbooks can be included, but I don't. The only one I can think of is there's an unofficial Harry Potter cookbook that, like, it didn't necessarily make me hungry, but it made me want to make all of the things that were in it.
I think the Star Wars, I don't think it was just a Star Wars cookbook, but it was like...
Oh my goodness, Kitty. You are the most annoying thing. What is your deal?
I think one of mine was, or possibly the only one, was the
Kitty?
Star Wars activity/cookbook thing. Because it had a lot of cool looking treats in it that looked really nice, but otherwise I don't know. I haven't really been...
Is that the one with Admiral Snack Bar?
Yeah.
I want to see Admiral Snack Bar, and I feel like there was another joke from that one, but I don't remember.
There was like I think it was a Death Star pinata, possibly.
Could be. Oh my word. Our kitty's being so annoying.
Well, he's cute, but he's annoying, but he's
So
adorable,
annoying.
and I love him.
I mean, yeah. Alright, number 18. Whose book advice will you always take?
As much as I fight against it, I would say her.
Yay!
I mean, there are some times where I disagree with her, but I usually take her advice at first. I guess.
You at least listen to it for the most part. And at least consider the books that I offer. He doesn't like reading new books often. Like, I will constantly read new books, and he likes to reread his favorites, which is okay, because I do that too. But it's a struggle to get him to read new books, which is why I was so excited when he read Warcross and loved it, because I was like, yes, it's a new book that he likes. And he's excited for the new one, too, which is good. For me, I will always take my friend Molly's advice and my friend Kat's advice, because although Kat has a different taste in books, we've grown up together, and so we know each other's taste very well. And then Molly has very similar tastes to me, so we always are recommending books to each other. And lending books to each other between the three of us, too, actually. All right, and number 19, is there a book outside your comfort zone which you loved reading?
So basically, for me, it's a non-science fiction book that I liked. There were definitely a few. You can talk. I need to remember.
I would say I had one and it's gone now. Darn it. Oh, And Then There Were None by Agatha Christie. I actually really enjoyed it. I don't normally like mysteries, but I enjoyed my time with it. Like, that book in and of itself wasn't like my favorite book I've ever read, but I enjoyed the mystery aspect of it, and I definitely wasn't able to guess who the killer was, and I'm interested in reading more Agatha Christie books. So I think that one for me. I don't know.
I don't know.
Are there any on the show?
I don't remember reading much non-science fiction stuff.
Sci-fi, or you read some fantasy, but not a ton.
I kind of probably a mistake, but I kind of usually combine the two in my thinking because it's often
sci-fi fantasy is often put together.
Yeah.
You liked actually historical fiction.
Blackout and All Clear. Those are really good.
Our whole family loves those books, and those are historical fiction, but with the sci-fi twist because there's time travel involved. So I guess it's a little bit, but it's also a lot of historical fiction. So
it's confusing, but it's amazing, and
yeah,
it's one of those books where you're not told all the information at the start, but then later on, as you keep reading, you'll be like, oh, one of those moments.
Yeah, there's so many of those moments. We also really, really love the audiobooks for them. The audiobooks are fantastic, and there's Kitty, get off of my dresser. So yeah, the audiobooks are really good. Really love the audiobooks. Catherine Kelgren narrates both of them, right?
Yeah. She does all the voices, which is really crazy.
Yeah, and she's really good at it. And it's cool too because as you listen, there's there's something to do with two children, and you don't necessarily notice it if you only are reading the physical book, but in the audiobook she does the voices of the kids that pop up throughout the books, and it's just really cool. And like, yeah,
and
the
like
character
certain,
connections
like certain characters and like different voices and
yeah, it's just really, really good. I have been plugging that book forever, but I never hear anybody talk about it. And
which is sad because it is
really
you'd
good.
think people would like it.
Yeah. Although it can be confusing and a little hard to get into, so I think that's why. That is it for the tag. We did it.
Yeah.
You did it. It wasn't that hard.
Yay.
Yay. It wasn't that hard. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. All my social media is in the description as always. And
like and subscribe.
why? I mean, yes, but also why? And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.